I'd like to now welcome our next guest on the program. We're excited to have him join us today, joining us to talk really about what they're doing around health account administration is Chad Wilkins, the Executive VP and Head of HSA Bank. Chad, good morning.
Good morning. How are we doing this morning?
We're doing great. Great to have you on the program. I appreciate you spending the time with us.
My pleasure.
It seems like we just saw each other recently, huh?
Yes, we did at the Evolution One conference.
Yeah, we had a good event out there. We were talking about that earlier on the show. Well, Chad, great to have you here. Give our audience a little background around HSA Bank, and been a lot of dynamic changes there over the last year since you took over. So talk a little bit about what you guys are doing in the space.
Sure. Well, as you know, HSA Bank has been in the HSA space for many years, back from the beginning, and over the last couple of years, we've begun to expand outside of HSAs and got more into FSAs, HRAs, and other health accounts as well. We had a pretty exciting year in 2014 where, we kind of rolled out all those new products and had an opportunity to acquire the JP Morgan Chase portfolio as they got out of the business, and closed on that transaction in January, which made us the largest HSA provider in the space, and got us into deeper relationships with some of the health plans out there. And so we're very excited about that and extremely busy. It's as I said, it's been a pretty exciting year, and looks like another one in 2015.
Yeah, it does. Well, congratulations on all that. And in the midst of all that, you and your team rolled out a whole new brand promise, our Own Your Health, correct?
Exactly, and I think we'll hit that theme a lot as we're talking about the space today, because that's what it's all about, is consumers taking more responsibility and owning how they plan, save, and pay for health care today and as they go out into retirement.
Yeah, we were just talking about that and some of the observations from Evolution One that we all were part of last week, and the whole power of choice is evolving, and that's going to create a lot of dynamic change in this marketplace. But what other trends do you see having the biggest impact on consumer-directed healthcare and HSAs?
Yeah, I think there's some trends that have been in there since the beginning, and some trends that are emerging. But I'd say the key ones are the cost of care, legislative developments, and just sheer momentum are probably having the most impact. When you think about the cost and quality have been the biggest drivers in CDH probably since the beginning, and the rate of growth has been, although the healthcare cost growth has slowed a little bit, it still remains probably the key factor in driving movement. When you think about the fact that health plans, HSA plans, are about 18 to 20% less expensive than a traditional PPO or HMO plans, that's significant motivation, obviously, for the shift. From a momentum standpoint, I think we're at a tipping point in the industry. CDH plans have been growing at 20% for years, and now about 57% of employers have CDH plans in place. And amazing stat is about 90% are supposed to have health plans by the time we get to 2020, which really, when you think about it, it's not that far away. Other interesting stats are, we got 14 million individuals have HSA accounts today, and that's supposed to double by 2017. And it's funny, it wasn't long ago, I think we were spending our time explaining what a high-deductible health plan was and what consumer-driven health is and what HSAs are. And now we're probably spending more time on why am I the right partner for you to move into that direction.
Yeah, healthcare consumerism is moving to the main stage. It's not in the back room anymore.
That's for sure.
And then we talk about the impact of the private exchange market, the potential impact of the private exchange market. While it's still early in that market, the early indications from private exchanges is that the majority of participants in private exchanges are choosing HSA and high deductible plans.
Yeah, no doubt. Both in public and private exchanges, that's where the majority of folks are going. So that's having a pretty significant impact as well.
Talk to me a little bit about when you and your team keep your eye on Washington and the legislative front. What do you see there that may concern you? What do you see there that may be encouragement as it relates to growth of CDH?
Yeah, I think we hit on one already, just the number of individuals coming into the market through exchanges, public exchanges, as most of them are choosing high deductible plans, so there's lots of opportunity there. And I think the next biggest thing I see out on the horizon is Cadillac tax. The Cadillac tax penalizes employers or has the effect of charging an excise tax to employers who have higher levels of coverage or higher value plans. That's supposed to take effect in 2018, and I think a lot of the employers that we're seeing driving over to high deductible plans or consumer-driven plans are looking at it as a way to lower the value of their overall plans in order to get below that threshold. The last thing I'd mention that is a big opportunity out there for us. There's a lot of activity and proposals going on at the state and federal level, looking at how we can use HSA plans or health accounts as a way to attach to Medicaid, Medicare, VA benefits, and things like that to have the same impact on public plans that we see in employer-based plans to get the consumer more involved and on how they acquire their health care and manage the cost.
Yep.
So I think that's a big opportunity down the road.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. When you look at HSAs as a potential retirement vehicle, I mean, right now the current numbers say that 61% are spenders, 28% mixed, and 11% are savers. But we do see the balances growing. What do you see kind of the trend line, the next 2, 3, 4, 5-year trend line as far as HSAs being utilized to really become, a retirement vehicle as well?
Yeah, I think that's a great point because I see that as one of the areas where, folks are largely underserved to some extent. You look at retirement in general in the United States, where Americans are largely unprepared for retirement just for their basic costs, and most don't realize that costs in retirement are going to be somewhere around $250,000 on average for an individual once you get into retirement. Few people realize that, and few people realize what a great tool an HSA can be to help them address that issue. It's funny when I'm around. Sometimes when I speak with investment advisors or folks who work in that space, I'm surprised at how little they know about how an HSA works and how to best get the most value out of it. I think we all know that money goes in tax-free and it comes out tax-free in retirement if you use it for healthcare costs. So the best way to use an HSA is to put the money, put all your money in, or if you can afford it, contribute as much as possible, save your receipts, and take it out in retirement. And I think there's only about 10% on average of folks are that kind of saver or investor. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to educate folks on how to better get the most value out of their HSA.
Yeah, and you just touched on one group, I think, Chad, a professional group that probably needs to be educated as well, and that's the financial advisors themselves. Todd Berkeley and Eric Rimsky, who you obviously know very well, were asked to speak last year at a financial advisory event, which I think is encouraging to all us in this business, that market is now saying, wait a minute, maybe we need to pay a little more attention to these HSAs. What are they actually, and what should we be aware of, to your point?
Yeah, I think it's both the need. Folks are beginning to understand, we've got to prepare for that in retirement as well, but it's also the momentum, right? Now that there's so many people that have HSAs and the dollars that we're talking about in HSA-type plans obviously creates that interest. But it always never ceases to amaze me when I can sit down with an advisor who's either talking to me or people I know about how to save for retirement, and when we get to this subject, we're educating them, right, on the best way to use this tool. So we have a ways to go there, I think.
Yeah. Now, you actually work through brokers. You work directly with health plans, and talk to the market a little bit about your distribution channels.
Yeah, we got our start at HSA Bank working with mostly in the broker space. So if you look way back in the industry, we were there when medical savings accounts, and then when HSAs first came into law, and one of the first to get in, and we developed the product, started getting broker lists and calling folks up and saying, if you're looking for an HSA to go with your HSA plan, we're in the space. So over years, we've built up, over 20,000 folks that distribute our HSA along with the plan. So we're still really strong in that side of the market. We've over the last several years, we've have much deeper penetration working through health plan partners as well, because a lot of most of the HSAs that are purchased in this space are purchased through when someone elects to buy the health plan and get offered an HSA along with that. So that's driving more than 50% of our growth today.
No, that's outstanding. And then and you and I were talking briefly about the emerging exchange market and what potential opportunity that can be for HSA Bank going forward as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think you still have multiple ways that people acquire HSAs, even coming through an exchange. There's some exchanges that are offering an HSA on kind of the front end in the same way they offer the health care benefits, but then there's still the opportunity to buy it when you elect the coverage and the health plan to buy through the health plan who's offering it, and then some are just, you're not getting access to that at all. The individual is going to go out and just buy off of the internet or through their broker, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that all comes together.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to come at it from every angle in the meantime, right?
Yeah, and keep the employers aware, because they're driving the ship right now. Whether they work directly through their brokers or others, they're the ones with the lights on right now, trying to figure out how to do the right thing and getting the healthcare spend down, and how to do the right thing on behalf of their employee consumers.
Absolutely. Yep.
Hey, Chad, time flies when we're having fun here, and I really want to give you an opportunity to kind of leave our audience with 2 or 3 clear takeaways, from you, if you would, please.
Yeah, my pleasure. I think the first, we've hit on them all already, I believe, but I think it's extremely important for all of us in this space to realize how much is being put on the individual to manage their how they buy health care, how they save for health care, how they plan for their retirement. So I just think the need to develop really strong education tools, both in terms of how they select their plan, how they manage their health, but then even how they save for health care and retirement, and the kind of investments they use and so on. So there's a lot of responsibility that we have to continue to help individuals navigate this space. And I know we with an HSA Bank are putting a lot of time, energy, and effort into doing just that. I think that's the most needed space, because adoption levels are getting better, but they're not where they need to be. Savings levels, I think, are getting better, but again, not where they need to be. There's just a ton of opportunity to help individuals navigate both how they do things today and how they think about their retirement. That's why we have the slogan, own your health, at the end of the day.
There you go. Chad, I sincerely appreciate you joining us today. It's been fun. It's been informative. You have a great weekend up there. And to our audience, you can find more information on HSA Bank by going to their website, hsabank.com. Chad, thank you so much.
All right, my pleasure. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.